The top priority in many people's lives, at least on some level or another, is generally found in at least one or all three of these needs that I'm about to mention now, so listen carefully. Number one is the need to be acknowledged. Okay? There's nothing worse than feeling like we are nothing more than a ghost in some people's lives that they can't quite put their finger on. It's vitally important that people not only sense but respond to our presence. Number two is the need to be loved, because regardless of how love is interpreted across the board, it all boils down to how well received we are. And number three is the need to be useful. We know and understand that if people can't detect that we have something to contribute to the environment that we are in, that our value will go down in the social strata that we find ourselves in. Okay? Some of you are listening to this, you're the outliers, and you're saying, well, I'm not like this. This doesn't apply to me because I don't really care what people think. I don't need their approval to get by. And to you, I would say, congratulations, you've arrived. But there are many others that struggle with this. And if you can think of anybody who needs to hear this, please send this video to them. So I want to start off by asking you, are you giving too much of yourself away? Are you too good to everyone else? Is your spiritual and emotional bank account dried up? Are your reserves gone? Are you just completely bankrupt? That's where many people find themselves. They expect a return on investment after all they've given, after all they've done, this expression of beneficence. But they're always falling short. People enjoy them, but they don't find a whole lot coming back to them. Here's an example. Here's a real life example on a bigger level than just you and me of how this played out in Air Atlanta. The Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport is the major domestic and international hub for Delta Airlines. In 1984, two lawyers came up with a plan to exploit the big airline business coming out of that southern city by starting their own regional airline. Their main business would be to serve as a domestic connector for Pan Am's international flights. Travelers in cities such as Orlando or Memphis would fly to Atlanta on Air Atlanta and then fly to Europe via Pan Am. But since regional connector airlines are common, what was so special about Air Atlanta? It didn't have any coach seating. All seats on all flights were first class. With extra legroom, meals served on fine china, and a perfect safety record, 3 million people flew on Air Atlanta in its first 3 years and gave the carrier rave reviews. But it wasn't enough. The airline's prices were too low. It didn't have enough cash to expand or pay its bills. And it owed more than $50 million to its creditors. Air Atlanta filed for bankruptcy in 1987. They gave too much of themselves away in order to be number one in the hearts and minds of every individual who could possibly find a need for them. And yet they still fell short. They didn't think they could miss. They had a formula, right? They had it figured out. They could not lose if they were this good. But they gave away everything. Or they gave away at least too much. Are you doing that? Are you giving away too much? You might be getting rave reviews, but that doesn't mean you'll get a return on your investment. You see, when you make everyone else the foundation for all your personal happiness and emotional needs, you'll always fall short. You are your own foundation. Invest in yourself. Know your value. Don't give away more of yourself than you have. And when you are perceived as being so good and that you never miss, that you always come through, you are a verifiable quantity. When people have you all figured out, they'll take every advantage of you. They'll enjoy your resources at your expense. But that doesn't mean they'll respect you. You're nothing more than a dancing monkey on a stage. Be good to yourself. Don't let everyone else get you figured out. To some degree or another, people should always wonder how you feel about them. They should have a good idea, but they shouldn't be ever 100% sure exactly where you are. Therein lies some of your value. Don't give away all of yourself. Learn to say no. Learn to save something for yourself. Make yourself happy that way. Because other people, you cannot rely on other people to come back, well, and to have your back and to support you. This just doesn't happen. I've done this a lot of times. I've done this, it's probably you have too. Haven't you, at least, right? I'm thinking most people probably have. They just haven't figured out what exactly they should be doing about it. Pull back. Pull back. Save something for yourself. Give out of your abundance, not out of your deficit. All right? You're going to feel better about yourself. And people will have respect for you. They'll know they can't take advantage of you. And I think that'll make a big difference. I hope it's spoken at least to some degree to you. I hope it's spoken volumes. But your priority needs to be to build your own foundation and then lay everything else on top. But don't give away too much of yourself. Don't be too good. All right. I hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and tap the notification bell. And consider donating to this channel. You don't have to, but I'd be grateful if you do. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day. In the meantime, be wise.